sharp,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it's time. Skip,
Okay,
that position
it's all
is all
timing.
timing.
It's all timing. It's connection.
Yes.
It's rhythm. It's vibe.
Yes.
I know where you're going to be.
Right.
I have chemistry with you.
Right.
And the only way to get real chemistry is under real fire. And
Yes.
it's not even real fire, but it's better than campfire,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's what Tom Brady does, and they have already announced they're going to play their first game against Cincinnati at home on Saturday night. And Bruce Arians said, well, he's at least going to play a series or two, and that's their first preseason game.
And that's normally how it works, Skip. You play a series or two, then you play a quarter, maybe into the second quarter, then you play to the half, or maybe a series in the third quarter. That's normally how it works. Then your starters are done for the rest of the game, and you don't even play the fourth preseason game. But you've gotten some play under your belt.
So help me out here. To your point, Dak Prescott made it through 4 full games and then a part of the 5th game last year. So that's effectively, we'll give him those 5. So that means 11 games he missed at the down the stretch last year. And then in the first camp padded practice this year, as we saw in Hard Knocks, he strains his arm. An injury I've never heard of before. And we both said you hear about tired arms or dead arms in camp, but you don't hear about pulled muscles.
Lat muscles, no.
Nope, I've never heard of that one before. So it's a little strange, and you made a good point yesterday. Is it possible that his lower half, he's just not comfortable turning into, and so you just kind of arm throw it until you finally arm throw it until something goes? Maybe. Okay, I give you that. So now, to your other point, Stephen Jones is trying to say, I'm going to read the quote here. He says, I just think Dak Prescott knows how to play the game of football, and whether he plays a series or two against Houston isn't going to affect how he's going to play in the opener against Tampa. That opener happens to be on September the 9th, which is a Thursday night, which means it's the solo opener for the defending champs at home against a defense that I'm going to remind everybody caught fire in the postseason. Todd Bowles' defense caught fire.
Yeah, and they're going to want to show that wasn't a fluke. This is who they actually are. So Devin White, that monster that I was talking about earlier, he going to be chomping at the bit.
Okay. And everybody came back. Shaq Barrett, you can argue, you thought he was gone, but you can say he took a little bit of a hometown discount to stay and show that we're going to run this back, right? So let's just look quickly at what that defense did down the playoff stretch at Drew Brees. Brees went 19 of 34, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, and threw for a grand total of 134 yards and at a QBR, scale of 1 to 100, of 32 against that defense. Were you not impressed?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's what Dak's up against. Aaron Rodgers fared a little better on yardage because he did throw for 346, although they were down, and he was just flinging it at the end.
But they sacked him like 5 times.
They were all over him the whole game. He had a QBR of 68, which was decent, but not Aaron Rodgers great, and they lost 31-26 at home in the NFC Championship game, and you have to give the defense a large share of the credit for that. And then you know what happened to Patrick Mahomes. He couldn't even set his feet before he was getting rocked or hassled by somebody some way. And he winds up throwing no touchdowns and 2 interceptions with a QBR, scale of 1 to 100, of 50. So he had a dead average QBR against that defense. That defense is going to be primed and spoiling to show the world it was no fluke. And you're going to throw Dak, who can't even practice padded practice with his own team, right? Into the fire against that fire-eating, fire-breathing defense,
That's what Steven says. Skip, what do you think the chances are? At any point in time in the 20-year they were together, Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft, and Tom Brady. Mr. Kraft had the press conference and say, you know what, I think preseason's overrated. I don't think Tom's going to play. What owner? What general manager? That's the coaches. Just like when I see Mike McCarthy out there say, you know, I'm thinking about Zeke's workload because he got a lot of carries on that body. What you think? Why you asking him? They hired you. But see what you did, you lied. Because Skip, remember, he told him, I watched every game, every snap you guys took. Then he get the job. He like, well, I really didn't watch every snap. I was just wanting the job, so I just told him that. Mike McCarthy. Skip, that's the problem. The dysfunctionality of all of this. The owner, the general manager, the CEO, whatever title the Joneses have, we know they own the team. They should not be making decisions. Who play that? Skip, you think Jerry could have told Jimmy Troy's not going to play in the preseason? Emmitt's not going to play in the preseason.
He might have tried.
That was not going to even be a discussion because you need to play. Peyton Manning played in the preseason. Even after he came off the neck injury. Skip, you got to get a rhythm. You got to get timing. Maybe some defensive guys because it's reactionary.
Okay.
You don't need it. But a quarterback, it's hard for me to see a quarterback not needing some repetition, especially after he missed basically the entire previous season with an injury.
Got it. So to continue this disgusting dysfunction that you speak of, when Dak uttered MRI in his media session yesterday, it forced Cowboys Twitter
Forced him to do it.
into scramble mode.
Right.
Into we must defuse this bombshell before it just explodes all over Twitter.
Too late.
And so they try to say it's not a setback and it's not a reason to worry, but quarterback Dak Prescott is planning on getting another MRI.
Okay.
That's like MRI is equal to SOS, right? It's like, what? He is?
Yes.
And even if it's just precautionary, even if it's just part of the recovery process, why do we need to know about it? Why would Dak feel compelled to divulge that when he kept it a secret that he had a second surgery on his ankle?
How about this, Skip? If the MRI is of no consequences, of no concerns, why does Dak feel compelled to go get another one? What is it on his mind that makes him feel like something isn't right, that I need an MRI to either confirm or deny what I'm feeling? Because if you good, Skip, I mean, hey, I had an injury. Hey, I'm good to go. I didn't go to get another MRI that says, okay, Shannon, this is your timeline. You should be in here somewhere between here and here. Okay, fine. Dislocated my elbow. They say, Shannon, you're going to be back.
I got a better one for you. After the show yesterday, I said, how are you feeling after you had your hip replaced? And you said, you know, it's feeling really good.
Feeling really good.
Do you need another MRI on your hip right now?
No.
Do you need one just to prove that it's 100%?
No.
No, you do not.
Because I saw the doctor on Tuesday. He said, you look good. He didn't say, well, you know what, Shannon, I think we need to get another MRI to make sure everything's okay. He said, you look good. As a matter of fact, less than 3 weeks, I'm already walking with no assistance.
Aha. There you go.
I don't know. This is a concern for me. Okay, maybe they want to try to downplay it, Skip, because they don't want to get anybody alarmed. But, Skip, you're not getting another MRI if everything's on the up and up. If everybody feels good, maybe the Cowboys feel good, but Dak Prescott doesn't feel good because Dak says, I'm going to get it. The Cowboys didn't say, well, we're going to get Dak another MRI. He said it, and then they try to defuse the situation while releasing a statement via Twitter.
Interesting. So why am I most concerned about this? Well, obviously, I have bet you some innumerable cases of Diet Mountain Dew that my team will at least win the NFC
Yes,
East.
you have.
And by the way, we're going to get to see a couple of members of the least on display tonight because you got your pick, Washington playing, and then Philly's playing Pittsburgh. Okay, so I still believe I have the best quarterback in the division by far, so that's why I'm picking my team to win the division.
He injured.
But the point is, do I trust my defense that much more than I did last year? I do trust the Lion, Micah Parsons, Penn State, Nittany Lion.
Right.
I think he's going to be a godsend. But can I bank on number 11 uplifting my defense to even average, to say the 15th best defense? I can't.
Right.
So it's going to come down to what I consider a very potentially explosive offense.
Right.
Well, the key position is the guy who throws the football.
Yeah.
And I've never said that Dak Prescott was John Elway or Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady.
Right.
He's pretty good. He throws it pretty well.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's a gamer and a baller. He's a playmaker more than a pure thrower of the football. So in the end, I do need his arm to be healthy because I need his mind to be right and healthy and 100% committed because he's my whole show in the end, right?
Right.
Because mostly they're going to have to outscore people to win games.
You feel confident that the Cowboys are going to win the East, not because of the team, because you feel you have the best quarterback in the division.
Correct.
You're not going to pick the Cowboys to win the division if Brad DiNucci or Gilbert has to be the starting quarterback for any length of time. You're not picking
Ben DiNucci.
bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
Ben Anthony DiNucci.
He actually
Gilbert.
got a lot of run in Hard Knocks. I don't know. He's kind of a character. Go ahead.
But do you feel as comfortable?
No.
If one of those guys got to take you 4, 5, 6 games?
Hey, I got to tell you the truth. Garrett Gilbert, I assume, is going to play the first half at Arizona on Friday night.
I would assume you're correct.
It's hard to watch it. They scored 3 points the other night. They lost 16-3 to the Pittsburgh Steelers without Roethlisberger.
Correct.
How can I sell that to you? It's hard.